Story time about how I ended up at the 2024 Grammys, cheesing all over that broadcast. There are two ways you can approach this, and way number one is for my fellow musicians. If you're a nearly full-time artist where music is your main profession, then I highly recommend becoming a member of the Recording Academy. They are who puts on the Grammys. So when you become a member, you not only get invited, but you get to bring up to 3 guests with you. The Recording Academy also advocates for artists when it comes to lawmaking and does a ton for us in general. So your membership supports that cause as well. I've been a member since about 2015, and not only do you get to go to the Grammys, but they throw a ton of events throughout the year that are killer for education and networking. Becoming a member is also the only way that you get to go to the daytime Grammys, which I might even like more than the regularly televised ones. So the televised Grammys is what you see on TV, and it honors a lot of the main categories like Pop Artist of the Year, things like that. But what you might not know is there is an entirely separate Grammy celebration for other categories, because there are so many categories, hundreds, that they can't award every single category on the live broadcast because the show would be hours and hours long. So awards like Best Grassroots or Best Gospel, Best Children's Album, even Best Album Packaging you can win a Grammy for, those are awarded at a separate time during the day. And that ceremony is so much fun because it's a little bit more relaxed. You're still all glammed up, but you are front and center. Like I was 3 rows away from Rosalia one year, and I was right there when Kirk Franklin was accepting his award one year. I mean, I could have nearly touched him. I was so close. And people are wandering in and out throughout that ceremony. So anybody you'd want to meet is just right outside those doors, and you could talk with them, and it's just a lot more low key and less hectic than the main event. So in order to become a Recording Academy member, you head over to the website and check out all the criteria. There are a few different ways you can join. You can join as a professional if you're a producer or a songwriter in the industry. You can join as an artist and a voting member, which is what I am. So you have to have a certain amount of credits and some recommendations from other Recording Academy members and other things. And when you submit, I cannot stress enough how much you need to put into your application. People get denied all of the time. So spend time on your application, put as much juicy info in there as possible, and your odds will be much higher of getting accepted. And a little side note, once you do get accepted and you start getting those invites, it's all really awesome, but you do still need to pay to attend the Grammys, and so do your guests. The only way that you can attend for free is if you're nominated. And honestly, I fully understand that. I mean, a lot goes into putting on this event, and especially the after party is so lavish and so fun. So I think it's totally worth it, not only to attend the event itself, but the networking. I mean, at the main event, even if you purchase a ticket package that puts you in the nosebleeds, which is what I always purchase, you're still coming in and out the same doors as everybody else. You're still going to the same bathrooms. You're still going to the same concession stands as everybody that is being nominated and winning that night. So worth it. Okay, so that's way number one to gain access to the Grammys and access to the after parties and the daytime Grammys and the networking throughout the year. Highly recommend if you are a full-time artist. Now, if for some reason you don't get accepted, or you are not a professional in the industry and you just want to have a Grammy experience for one time in your life, you can sign up for a lottery system that lets you into the Grammys one time as a seat filler is what it's called. This doesn't allow you access to daytime Grammys, after parties, anything like that. And it's a lot more strict as far as, taking pictures and things like that. But you can go one time, they will allow you. And the wait list is pretty long, but for the first time ever, I signed up for the 2024 Grammys because, as I mentioned, I'm usually up in the nosebleeds and I wanted that floor experience. So I signed up and I got it like 3 days after signing up. And when I was in line waiting with everybody else, there were people in line next to me that said they had been on the wait list for 5 years. I was like, holy cow. So although I knew I was going to be floor level, nothing prepares you for when that moment actually happens. And that day in Los Angeles, there was a crazy monsoon style storm coming through and everybody was late. Even Mariah Carey got stuck on the freeway and had to be picked up by golf cart. And so when I got there, I'm soaking wet and I'm being shuffled so quickly to, the area to get down to the main floor. It's dark, so I'm looking at my feet and I'm just listening to the voice telling me, walk forward. And when you hit the ground, make a right, find a seat. I'm like, okay, hit the ground, make a right, hit the ground. So I hit the ground and I look up and there's Oprah right in front of me and Ed Sheeran is to the right. And I'm looking around and there's a table right behind Billie Eilish and next to Jelly Roll. I'm like, I guess I'll sit here. And oh my gosh. And then the cameras start rolling and Dua Lipa is like, I could put my feet up on the stage. I was right next to the stage the whole time. And she starts performing, and it's just so emotional and incredible to be there as an artist who has spent her whole life in the music industry. And this has been my dream my whole life, is to be a full-time musician. And so to see people who are at the top of their game killing it, it is just indescribable. It's like the biggest motivational event for people in the industry ever. And I would highly recommend it, even if you don't get in and you go as a seat filler only once. I mean, that experience was so cool. But yeah, let me know if you apply to be a Recording Academy member, if you are an artist. I also have a Discord where I'm available. I'm in there all day talking about things. So if you want to show me your submission and I can give you some pointers on getting accepted, even if you need a recommendation, I can check you out. Yeah, hit me up and let me know if you end up going to the Grammys.